Everyone, here we are with ticker symbol SPX, the S&P 500 index, and where we're going to talk about the last scheduled pumps leading up till now, and also when is the next one that is scheduled and what to expect the next coming week towards the end of the week, because this next scheduled pump is the end of the pumps for this scheduled time period, and there's going to be a next release date, whether they're going to tell us that there is more or they might stop it. We don't know. We just have to keep on going ahead and rolling out as they come and take advantage of the opportunity to make some profits by minimizing losses and maximizing your profits in this process. Now, to all my first-time viewers and investors, I want to say welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow, and to all my subscribers, welcome back. Let's jump into this chart and see what is going on. So previously to hitting this peak of 3,500 and some change, almost 3,600, it missed it by like $12, $13, and it started to dip. You would buy in, which I did some notes here at one point that I was actually measuring and seeing where was this going to go and how much it could rise. This is when the beginning of the scheduled release dates came out for this time period, and this was about 2 weeks later, a week and a half later, and it rose up that much. And as you continued to buy and ride the wave and the dates that were scheduled, you would continue to see this rising till it hit this peak. Now, interesting enough, on the way down, I noticed that the pumps actually were stopping and creating that catalyst of attracting investors to stay in the market and not leave and actually come back in and not actually hit newer lows. I mean, the lowest point that was reached was way down here at 3,200 and some change, almost about to hit 3,100 and some change. And from that point forward, there's been a recovery, which is a good sign. The anticipation has been built and it's been growing. But before reaching that low, this was one of the scheduled pump dates that started off on this time period. And I apologize for everybody. I had to open it up here on my Paint app because my photo app is not working. So the beginning of the scheduled pumps started on September 15th, and the ending, which is going to give us the new release date, is the 14th, right? And we can see that here that it ends for the current period. Now, it started on the 15th, and we're going to look at how it's been reacting, and I want everybody to be aware that the next one is on the 13th, and the most recent one was on the 6th. We're going to come back to this in just a second. So on the 14th, it had started leading to the 15th being the first pump. And from the 14th, it actually rose from 33.84 all the way up to 34.20, basically 34.19. And that was the rise there. That was a 40-point move, basically, almost. And again, down here from the 21st to the 22nd, right? So this is the beginning of the 22nd right here at 32.66, and it rose up to this peak here. This was the ending of literally the 22nd. This is where it started on the 23rd, but as you can see right here, this candlestick is the 22nd right here, and it rose up to 33.18. Again, another like 50-point move. So on these dates of the pumps, there was anticipation already being built beforehand, but just on the day of the pump, you can see how many points were moved. Now, this was one of the weakest that I have seen in a while and throughout this whole process. And I believe that from the 29th pump, what it did was it actually stopped it from continuing to hit newer lows and leveled it right back off, raising it up 20 points. And it created that momentum to continue. And here we are again on October 6th. October 6th actually started a little bit lower here at 33.97, and it rose up all the way to 34.22. That was almost a 20 to 30 point move, and then it quickly dipped and it rose back up on the 7th. I mean, there was a lot of volatility there, but you could see that the 6th was the most recent one, and then the 7th it started to rise again. But you could see it early in the day, and as you could see also, these pumps happen early on in the day. They start off in the morning. That's something that I don't know if people have noticed. I don't really mention it much because once I pop this up, you can kind of read it for yourselves, pause it, and take a look at it. But it starts off early in the morning. Whoa, that's a lot of writing. Scribble, scrabble. And Now we're going to talk about what is going to happen on the projection for Tuesday. What are the possible outcomes? Because we're all the way up here. So let's go ahead and zoom in here and move over and zoom right back out so that we can have space to write. So we're at 34.77 and we're above the 50-day moving average in a bullish trend for the S&P 500, and there are ticker symbols rising up with it. And Monday is a holiday, but I believe the market is open Monday. Now, if by any chance the market is not open, all these hypothetically speaking and analysis that we're going to talk about do work for the 13th being the date of the pump. If Monday's closed, this is still the possibility of what can happen to the market, obviously, if Tuesday is the day of opening. But I believe the market's open on Monday. So let's go ahead and see. And anybody that wants to correct that, you're more than welcome to also. I want to go ahead and advise all you guys. Oh, and one more thing. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. And in that video, I will be talking about the best stocks to have bought in 2020. I don't want you guys to miss out on it. It's a playlist that I'm making. I'm going to continue to compound on top of those videos, more videos. So save that playlist. And you don't have to watch all the videos at once because they're very informative and they take a little longer because I go more in depth. I don't just read the charts. I start looking at different things and technicals that have to do with the company, such as, you know, their net profit income and also their revenue and their profit margin and a lot of different things, and what's creating the catalyst till now and what is the projection that can happen. I'm not there to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold, but I just want to inform all investors on a great idea to start considering different stocks. You don't have to consider all of them, but you can start making your own portfolio and start seeing how they're behaving and then decide if that's something that works for you based off of your due diligence and research and make your own rational decisions. But check it out. It'll be popping up at the end of this video. So for Monday, if Monday this slightly kind of dips and levels off, obviously on Tuesday, the pump will bring it back up and kind of level off, stopping it from falling in this direction. Obviously, it's not going to fall in that direction, so that is not important. And that's a small X with long X all the way to the bottom, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's just not going to happen. Or let's just cancel it out, right? That's not going to happen. So if that was to fall to deeper direction other than what I'm showing right here, obviously there's always going to be that bounce back. So that is super important to keep in mind, that usually these pumps are there to bounce back the market and stop it from hitting newer lows, as we saw here on the 6th when that happened, on the 29th from the 28th to the 29th, and also on the 6th when it fell and it rose right back up. It did a lot. It actually rose up. It's a points for the day. It dipped and it rose back up, creating that anticipation on Friday, continuing the run in this direction and creating that momentum to stop it from hitting newer lows. So that's what this is tended to do, and that is one of the most important things about these pumps, that they're here to stop the market from hitting newer lows. Now, on the other hand, if on Monday it kind of rises and it hangs out, obviously we're going to see this one then level off on Monday, and on Tuesday hit a newer high and reach newer resistance levels and move up several points, as we've seen in the previous times when these markets have shown how it reacts to these pumps. I mean, the last two pumps have actually been kind of stopping it from going in this direction, right? That time right there, and also this time right here, bringing it up and kind of building off like, you know, a staircase effect and keeping it in that upward direction. But we're going to see what's going to happen in the next coming one. And most importantly, as I always state, the market, what it does with these pumps is either it falls, levels off, and rises back up, kind of leaving it even, or it actually levels off in a sideways movement and then it shoots up a little bit higher than where it once was, and you can see the several point difference happen as we've seen previously. Now that's if Monday it levels off, it might rise, and if Monday it dips, it'll actually level back off due to the pump and kind of break even, not rising anymore higher than it could have but actually stopping this from going in a downward direction. Now, the other thing I want to mention, what is going to happen after this pump? And that's what it's most concerning to me right now. And I want every investor to be aware that, as we can see here, the next scheduled release date is on the 14th. Super important. The last one for this whole entire period, which happened for a whole month, is the 13th, coming up this next week. And the next release date is on the 14th. So what's going to happen? Let's look at the calendar. We will know on the 14th, which I will do an updated video as soon as I can later this week to update every single viewer. So if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to the channel, and I hope you guys find this interesting and worthwhile to go ahead and be ready to subscribe and hit the turn on the bell and hit the notifications so that you don't miss a single video that I post, so that you can go ahead and see this next one coming up. And I will talk about what's the next release date. Now, from the 14th, 15th, 16th, all the way possibly to the 21st or up to the 19th, it's between those two dates, which leaves us in a window of 3 days this next coming week and up to 3 days next week, or just 1 day of next week, which means anywhere from 4 to 6 days. There's going to be uncertainty in the market because Tuesday was the last pump, and if Tuesday starts to dip fairly quickly, we could see that effect happen on the 14th and roll over throughout the week. So there's going to be some volatility here on these 3 days, waiting for obviously the scheduled pump date. And if the scheduled pump date is later next week, it could, like on the 21st or on the 20th, it could possibly affect the 15th, the 16th, and the 19th in a way that the market's actually going to go back down and start leveling off and correcting itself, waiting for the next pump. Now, on the 14th, if investors find that attractive and they're excited for it, then the market could actually start to rise the 15th, the 16th, and the 19th, or it could go the other way around, and there could be discounts either on the 14th or on the 15th. And once that release date is announced, there could be a turnaround starting the 16th or the 19th, waiting for the next pump. And once the next pump comes, the market will actually start to rise up several points on these dates, waiting for the next pump. And if they schedule it for the next month, as we saw here, that it was for a whole month that we see them, then that's good news for investors because they're going to feel excited to participate and be part of the market. And that's what's going to drive this, which everybody in the market wants this to hit newer highs. They want this to break through that resistance level that was formed here and go all the way up to newer highs that have not been seen, and continue to break new records for the S&P 500 as well as the NASDAQ and the Dow. So it's going to be an interesting week. And as long as these Federal Reserve pumps continue to happen, there's an opportunity to make 30 cents to $3 per share. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but like I always say, profits are profits. And I'm just here not to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold, just here to inform every single investor on the great news that there's an opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses with these strategies. And just because the charts speak for themselves and they show it, it's a great a rhythm to follow for as long as these pumps continue to happen. So check out the videos that are about to pop up towards the end of this video about the best stocks to buy and is it too late to buy in 2020. Share this with your friends and community. If you feel encouraged or inclined to subscribe, please do so. Don't forget to click on the bell by turning on all notifications to not miss a single video that I post. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.